A nearly 5-hour manhunt in East Missoula comes to a peaceful end.
The ACLU files suit to expand abortion access in Montana.
And this year it really is the Winter Games at Lost Trail.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Jill Valley.
And I'm Dennis Bragg. President Trump delivers his first State of the Union address tonight, emphasizing a safe, strong, and proud America. The president also said he wants to unite what he calls a long divided country.
He sought to infuse his maiden State of the Union address with an undercurrent of optimism. He declared the nation is thriving 1 year after he took office. He was interrupted by applause and standing ovations dozens of times during his hour-and-a-half-long speech. But it was a speech that some lawmakers chose not to attend. CBS News correspondent Mola Langi joins us now live on Capitol Hill. He covered the speech tonight for us, and he has more tonight on the president's plans for the coming year. We join him now live from the nation's capital. Mola.
President Trump spoke for nearly an hour and a half before a joint session of Congress, touting a strong economy and a recently passed GOP tax plan, and laying out his vision for immigration reform.
The state of our union is strong.
President Trump says the accomplishments of his first year in office speak for themselves.
We enacted the biggest tax cuts and reforms in American history.
The president touted the economic upswing and put forth a plan to rebuild aging infrastructure.
I am asking both parties to come together to give us safe, fast, reliable, and modern infrastructure.
President Trump offered to work with both parties to get a deal on immigration. He's offering a path to citizenship for 1.8 million dreamers in exchange for billions for a border wall with Mexico.
For over 30 years, Washington has tried and failed to solve this problem. This Congress can be the one that finally makes it happen.
More than a dozen lawmakers boycotted the president's speech. Others sent a subtle message from their seats in the chamber. Some Democrats wore black as a nod to the movement against sexual harassment, and many lawmakers invited dreamers as their guests. Republicans heartily applauded the president, often rising to their feet. Democrats were less enthusiastic. Massachusetts Congressman Joe Kennedy delivered the official Democratic response.
And to all the dreamers out there watching tonight, let me be absolutely clear. Ustedes son parte de nuestra historia. You are part of our story. We will fight for you, and we will not walk away.
The president is meeting with taxpayers Wednesday at the White House to discuss the effects of the tax overhaul. President Trump received more than 110 rounds of applause. That's approximately 29 minutes worth of applause during his speech, plus more than 70 standing ovations. Of course, most of those came from his fellow Republicans, as Democrats often remain seated. On Capitol Hill, Mola Langi, now back to you.
It was a tense morning for folks in the East Missoula area while numerous law enforcement searched for an armed fugitive.
The Missoula College campus was under lockdown. Bonner schools were also secured, while authorities from the ground and air tried desperately to find the armed suspect.
MTN's Connor McCauley was on the scene today and brings us what happened.
Missoula Sheriff T.J. McDermott says the fugitive, 35-year-old William Billy Newhoff, was wanted by the U.S. Marshals on a probation violation.
At approximately 9:30 this morning, deputies with the Missoula County Sheriff's Office followed up on a stolen vehicle that was located at a motel in East Missoula. They later determined that the subject, believed to be driving that vehicle, was a wanted fugitive with outstanding federal arrest warrants.
While being chased by police, Newhoff crashed his truck on the corner of Speedway and Montana Street in East Missoula.
It's here where the suspect crashed his vehicle and then fled on foot with a firearm, making him a danger to the Missoula community.
Numerous law enforcement agencies, such as the Sheriff's SWAT vehicle, Sheriff K-9 units, and 2 Bear Air helicopter out of Kalispell, all worked together to capture Newhoff.
We called in the Missoula County Sheriff's K-9 unit, as well as a helicopter out of Kalispell. And as the K-9 unit tracked the suspect from where he fled the vehicle on foot, the helicopter searched the the area and the perimeter from above.
The university sent out a safety alert closing Missoula College for the day and closing a portion of the Kim Williams Trail near the school. Bonner Elementary School kept their perimeter secure, doors locked, and kids inside until the threat passed. Deputies arrested Newhoff around 1:45 Tuesday afternoon inside a trailer in the 800 block of Speedway Avenue. An apprehension made possible by teamwork between different groups.
Mount Jumbo Elementary is where different government agencies came together to assist each other in capturing someone that was a threat to the Missoula community. Connor McCauley, MTN News, Missoula.
Newhoff has a prior conviction for breaking out of the Monroe County Jail in 2009, along with convictions for burglary, theft, and forgery. He's now booked in the Missoula County Detention Center and expected to make his court appearance before the week is over. It's been a day of widely varying but blustery weather across western Montana as January comes to a close. The southern Bitterroot was an example of that variety with periods of heavy snow showers, although it wasn't sticking much except at the higher elevations. Driving conditions over Lost Trail Pass were challenging at times with high winds pushing blowing and drifting snow and steady snowfall, keeping Highway 93 icy throughout the afternoon and into the evening. For the latest on what we can expect as these active conditions continue the next few days, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost. Aaron?
And that's exactly what they're going to do. We're going to continue to see these scattered snow showers over the next couple of days with temperatures running a little bit closer to normal, not in the 40s or even 50s like we saw yesterday. And that's all thanks to that big cold front that moved through last night and earlier today. Here's a look in Hamilton. First Security Bank ICAM this afternoon. Well, now what we're seeing in a newly developed west-northwesterly flow, some snow banding taking shape. Those are those narrow, intense bands, and they are moving across west central Montana, enough so that the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued a couple of winter weather advisories. They're in place through 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Got more details coming up in your full forecast.
The ACLU of Montana filed a lawsuit today to allow certain types of nurses to perform abortion in Montana. This lawsuit seeks to expand access to abortion in the state and help a soon-to-be reopened whitefish clinic that had been shut down due to vandalism. This lawsuit is asking a state judge to strike down a Montana law that allows only physicians and physician assistants to perform abortions. It argues that advanced nurse practitioners and nurse midwives can provide that service safely and should be allowed to do so in Montana. One of the plaintiffs in the suit is a nurse practitioner who hopes to offer abortion services at the All Families Healthcare Clinic in Whitefish. That clinic was the only abortion provider in the Flathead Valley when it was heavily damaged by vandalism in 2014. That clinic plans to reopen next month. ACLU Executive Director Caitlin Borgman says the suit is not just about this whitefish clinic, but about making a legal service more available in Montana. Attorney General Tim Fox is the main defendant of the lawsuit, saying his office will review the suit and respond accordingly. In rural Montana towns, the school is the hub for a community, and it's the building that holds the band concerts, the volleyball games, and so many other town events. Well, tonight, Lone Rock school administrators reached out to staff and active community members to brainstorm ideas on how to better many aspects of that school, specifically when it comes to fluctuating enrollment and budget issues. Superintendent and Principal Scott Stiegler says in the last 3 to 5 years, the school has lost more than 100 students. That's nearly a third of the school's enrollment. With that decrease, Lone Rock loses state funding. He says there are ways to meet the needs of the students with less money. Some of those ideas involve moving money around from pot to pot, maybe having a 4-day school week, or looking at levies and bonds for the district. Through all of these discussions, administrators say it's the community's input that's crucial.
We want to involve all of our stakeholders. We have our students and our parents and our staff, our administration, our school board, and we have our non-parent stakeholders as well. And everybody that is a taxpayer in this community has a stake in what we do, and we want everybody's involvement.
This is the third community meeting Lone Rock has had this school year. At tonight's gathering, parents and staff also addressed safety concerns at the school. For example, the campus has no nurse, which could be an issue in case of an emergency situation.
There's no mistaking this year's Bitterroot Winter Games for the summer edition of the Special Olympics, yet even with near whiteout conditions can't obscure the enthusiasm of the athletes from all over west central Montana who are finally getting their chance to compete. On a day that saw gusty winds whipping the heavy snow showers into a froth, you might think competitors would be reluctant to tackle the elements as the Bitterroot Winter Games opened Tuesday. And while the propane heaters were running full blast, so were the athletes, whether it was the always popular snowshoe races or downhill events. Blizzard conditions weren't about to stop them.
It's not about winning, it's about being brave.
But it's not just the enthusiasm and the snow that makes this such a successful event. It also takes dozens of volunteers and the support of many sponsors to make sure it happens every year.
We have such great community support. I mean, obviously, Lost Trail Powder Mountain does wonders. The Hamilton Golf Course helps out a ton. Global Wireless comes involved and help us put on our Hacker Golf Tournament. I could go on and on about community organizations, Knights of the Columbus, Rotary clubs. I mean, it goes on, and this community has jumped behind us some fierce. And to give you an example, it's like the Sula's Women's Club make cookies. It's just a small little group make cookies. And so that's one end of the spectrum, and it's great, it's great. You couldn't get it done without all help.
Hugs and encouragement and friendships don't hurt either, paying attention to every detail, both for safety and performance.
If they get the opportunity to see these athletes with the smiles and the grins and the happiness, it makes it all worthwhile. I don't care if you donated $5 or $500. It's all amazing, amazing.
The Bitterroot Winter Games will continue Wednesday morning and into the early afternoon. Anyone is more than welcome to head up to Lost Trail Pass, the Lost Trail Powder Mountain, and cheer for those athletes.
It's about being brave. That's the best quote.
That was the best quote of the day.
I love it.
It was nuts up there.
It was quite wintry.
Yeah, should be a little bit better. I'm hoping tomorrow. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, right.
Yep.
I guess we'll have to ask Erin. She's back with more on the breezy conditions. We do have a cold front moving through tonight.
And one of the Grizzlies' most successful programs is suddenly left without a head coach. Derek has that story a little later in sports.